Hey Pokemon Masters, McBoss here, and if you're seeing this video, then I'm dead. No, I am hopefully alive, but I am filming this one ahead of time. See, we know that the starters Pokemon Legends Arceus are Oshawott, Rowlet, and Cyndaquil, which, by the way, I think I'm going to go for Cyndaquil because flames! There's finally flames! It's been so many generations and I miss them flame quills. We know that this is the starter trio for Legends Arceus, but it's a reorganization of starters from other trios, from Alola, Unova, and the Johto region. Those trios have been broken up for Legends Arceus to create this set of Pokemon. And so far in all of the marketing, there hasn't been any hint of what they'll evolve into, whether that will be Typhlosion and Samurott and Decidueye, or whether there'll be new regional variants. And if I'm releasing this video, it's because one of two things has happened. Either we've just seen those regular evolutions in the trailer, or we've now just seen regional variation evolutions. And this video is going to be totally wasted if they, for some reason, announce, yeah, so in Ancient Hisui, Quilava, Dartrix, and Duot can't evolve. In which case, I'm still releasing the video anyway, so someone's seeing this somewhere. And that's great and all. I'm sure I have a reaction about the new forms, if there are new forms, and if there are, I guess that reaction will go here. Or not, but if these Pokemon do get new regional forms from Ancient Hisui, then we've got to talk about the other members of those original trios, because other than Ash Greninja, there hasn't been really favoritism between any of the starters. Like, okay, we learned about G-Max Charizard before we learned about G-Max Venusaur and Blastoise, and yes, Mega Charizard got two forms, it's always Charizard, and sure, Mega Blaziken came out before Mega Swampert and Mega Sceptile, but consistently with starters that have got new forms, the entire trio has eventually ended up complete. So for Alligator Meganium, Superior, and Emboar, Primarina, and Incineroar, there are 6 Pokemon here that we gotta look at, some ancient legends forms that I think they'll eventually get in the future. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, Pokemon Masters, but quickly before I get started, don't forget, if you leave a comment on this video, you're in with a chance of winning a copy of Legends Arceus, because Legends Arceus is in the title. All you're gonna do, leave that comment. Likes are appreciated as well, and obviously every comment acts as an entry on any of my videos titled Legends Arceus. I will probably announce the winners at the end of my first Legends Arceus playthrough, and I'm giving away 3 copies. Also, all of the artwork in this video has been done by the wonderful Alex Allen, linked in the description. Alex did most of the artwork for all of Pokemon Tempest, most of the Fakemon. So their designs, I've always been an absolute fan and absolutely adored them. And we're gonna do this in not a particular order. I was trying to work out if I do this by generation or if I do this by type, and then I decided that the fire types are my absolute favorite, so I'm gonna start and end with a fire type. Starting with Generation 5's Emboar. Now, Emboar is already my favorite of the Generation 5 starters. Those of you who know this channel for a long time know that I'm really not a fan of the Snivy line, and the Oshawott line is fine, but I find there's a bit of a disconnect between Duot and Samurott and that transformation, but the entire Tepig line is really well-rounded, and I like Emboar. But if we're taking it back to the world of a future Legends game, or even Legends Arceus, then I want to pay homage and reference to the best legend that probably inspired the creation of Legends Arceus. We're talking, of course, about The Legend of Zelda and Ganondorf, and you can see immediately how Ganon and its pig form look a lot like Emboar already, especially in Emboar's shiny form. So let's just make this official. Let's meld them together for the new Legends Regional Emboar, a Fire Dark type. I know I wasn't the only one who was annoyed that for 3 generations in a row we got Fire Fighting type, so let's make it a Fire Dark type. Yes, inspired by the King of Evil himself. I think this design is absolutely immaculate. I think I prefer this to regular Emboar, but then being a huge Zelda fan myself as well, like, this is just a blending of 2 worlds I love. It pays homage to the fact that it is inspired by Legends of Zelda, and this is the Legends series. And I can really see this Pokemon using a number of dark, like, physical moves to subdue its opponents. By the way, I was looking up dark type moves that this Pokemon could know, and there's a move that I didn't know existed called Baddie Bad. The reason I didn't know this move existed is because it's from Let's Go Eevee version, not Let's Go Pikachu, and I usually play Let's Go Pikachu because it's Eevee's signature move, but Baddie Bad, that's a move for a Ganon-inspired Pokemon. Right, speaking of part dark types, let's move over to Johto with a grass dark type. I want to change up Meganium. I feel like Meganium has a branding issue somewhere because people are always arguing about whether Feraligator's better or Typhlosion. I think Meganium's great. I think Bayleef's really great, especially in the animated series. Bayleef and Chikorita are like, it's such a fun character. But yeah, I don't know, maybe we need like Meganium to toughen up. So let's make it part dark type as well. I promise I don't make all of these part dark type. I think these are the only ones. But introducing the Grass Dark type Legends Meganium. There's a couple of little bits of inspiration coming in here from a few different places. First of all, this is a Legends game, so it's set in the past, and Meganium is very clearly inspired by dinosaurs. Brontosaurs? Are they called? They are called Brontosaurs? Yeah, like a Brontosaurus. I just wanted to elongate that neck and make it feel more dinosaur-like. But actually, a big inspiration from this is from a Pokefusion that I saw where you combine Mawile with Meganium, and I will try and credit the correct artist, though this has been, I feel like, reposted and reshared a lot of times, and the pixel art is from a different artist to the regular artist. So I'm gonna try and credit the right people here, But I love the idea if we're going for an ancient predator, for a dinosaur. I know obviously Brontosaurus is a herbivore, but I love the idea of turning that flower into literally a predator plant and making it something a little bit darker. So I love this design. I don't know if I prefer it to Mega Meganium though. Like I definitely prefer my new Emboar to the classic Emboar, but I don't know about this one. You have to let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Sticking in the Johto region, let's get both of the Johto ones out of the way. So if there is a new Typhlosion out there, great. By the way, if they didn't get new forms, then I guess they're the ones without forms, but there's enough people out there speculating about what those forms could look like. Let's have a look at Feraligator, who we will take from a water type Pokemon to a water fighting type Pokemon. I know, just add fighting type to a starter. Apparently it's a tried and true tested thing that works. By turning it into this new Legends form here, or regional variation, Hisuian form, whatever you want to call it. This is a much bulkier Feraligator that boasts a stronger physical attack and physical defense with tough armored plating, and is actually hugely inspired by crocodile-scaled samurai armor. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about this style of armor and when this would have been used, and who saw a crocodile and went, yeah, armor, that would be cool. But I think for Feraligator to kind of give that armor to it would be really cool and fit in with the Legends aesthetic. That's pretty much all I've got for this Pokemon. But yeah, just love the way it looks. Do you know there actually is a pattern to this? Because we've gone fire, grass, water, and then I'm gonna go grass, water, fire. That's not a pattern. That's not a pattern at all. I've decided I'm doing grass next. We are gonna go to the other grass type that needs a new form, the one from the Unova region, Superior. Superior is a design that I've just not ever really loved, and I think Servine in its middle stage, that's in the most need of a redesign, but I would power through having a Snivy and a Servine if it meant that it evolved into something just a little bit different, a little bit cooler. When looking at ancient worlds and like, okay, we're going back in time to give this thing a new form, one of the things that I was looking at when we're looking at Snake are like, hey, aren't there ancient giant snakes, like dinosaur-sized snakes? Let's make Superior look even more prehistoric, more dragon-like, more dinosaur-like. Let's give it the dragon typing. We can look at grass snakes, and we can look at dragon snakes, and we can look at the ancient Titanoboa. A snake that's so large that it could definitely go toe-to-toe with our regional Feraligator if it had toes, but it doesn't. To give us the grass dragon type regional variation of Superior, and I think this is the superior version. Also took a little bit of inspiration from that snake from the live action Jungle Book movie, but I think this is really, really cool. I would definitely want to use this. I think this evokes the dragon grass type a lot better than maybe like Mega Sceptile does as well. I really like this version, and this more muted green tone, I just think really suits it and makes it feel like it's something that you would find in an ancient swamp, that if you encountered this, you would want to go the other way. And given that modern day Superior is this kind of royal regal green color, and that's the whole point of the vibe of its look, I really think you can see how it would have become a king of the animal ecosystem if it was like this ultimate predator beforehand. Speaking of kings, let's move to queens. With a water type starter, Primarina needs a new form, right? Because we've already given one to... Oh, actually, I guess you've just saved Alola to last. because I haven't told you about Incineroar either. Obviously, if Decidueye gets a new form, Primarina and Incineroar are going to need new forms. Primarina is the one that I'm a little less sure on. So, as many of you may know, as I mentioned at the beginning, Alex Allen did a lot of the new Pokemon for Pokemon Tempest and did this primordial creature for me based on a mermaid. I love the idea of a creepy, icy mermaid that kind of like the ones from Harry Potter, a mermaid that isn't beautiful but is instead kind of creepy. And I wanted to inject that into Primarina's design because Primarina's got this kind of, it's this aria, it's this beautiful thing. I'd love to make it creepy. But I didn't just want to like copy and paste the design from this mermaid design that's in Pokemon Tempest. So I was like, hey, why don't we throw in Elsa from Frozen in there? Because that would suit Primarina, I guess. I mean, that is literally the assignment that I gave Alex Allen. Creepy, ice, siren, maybe throw in some Elsa vibes. I mean, it certainly looks like that. We have the creepy Ice Queen, Primarina from Legends series. I guess if there's a Legends Alola game or a Legends Unova game that has this in it as one of the starters. Here we go. Here is the Primarina of olden times. A siren that would lure sailors out to the rocks where it would ultimately freeze them to death. You know, I'll be honest, Primarina is a really hard design to work with. I really don't like regular Primarina, so I think this version, like, even though I know it's Elsa from Frozen. Look, Frozen's good. Frozen's good. I actually prefer this to regular Primarina, but it is my least favorite on this list. I'd love to know what you're thinking about it in the comments. My favorite on this list, though, is by far the one I've saved until last. You saw it on the thumbnail, maybe you've forgotten about it by now. It is the other Alolan Pokemon, the counterpart to this one, Incineroar. Incineroar, again, kind of a fan favorite of the Alola region, given that it ended up in Smash Bros, which is pretty wild. I wanted to give the dragon type to this. And I know you're thinking, how in the world can you move from being a tiger to a dragon? Like, how is that possibly gonna work? And I thought of it more like, we're giving dragon energy to Incineroar. You see, Incineroar in its regular form is a fighter, and there are lots of different fighting styles. Obviously, this one's known for wrestling, but I liked the idea of something more ancient that would fit in with the Legends theming. And I had in mind a specific Yu-Gi-Oh card or set of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There used to be these Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I mean, they still exist, called the Fire Fists and the Fire Kings. There's one in particular called there's the Fire Fist Tiger King, and then there's the Fire King Brong or something like that. It's been a while since I've played, but I thought the idea of kind of merging these together with Incineroar, combining these designs as well as a number of kind of inspirations from Hinduism, seeing this, I think this design is amazing. It feels like Incineroar is a dragon fighter. You can see how it's got this little blue flame dragon header on its tail, and like that's part of it, but mostly I just feel like it's a Incineroar that's channeling the energy of a dragon to fight. This is, without a doubt, my absolute favorite design on the list, and I think Alex Allen has done such a fantastic job of transforming this into something that is honestly so interesting that I now just like really want to see an India-inspired region that would have these kinds of themes turned into their Pokemon. I think it would be absolutely brilliant. This is what I want to see like now more than anything going forward into Gen 9. Or, of course, a Greek region, but because, you know, I've just done one of those last year, which is Pokemon Tempest, which, by the way, the whole series is out now, and all of the Fakemon in that series were done by Alex Allen, who did all of this artwork, or most of them were. Some were done by other artists as well. So, you know, do consider checking that out as well. I'll leave a link to the entire playlist in the description. But those are just my 6 designs. Obviously, everyone else is going to be talking about the new Typholsion and Decidueye and the new Samurott. And I just feel like these Pokemon, they need to get a little bit of a spotlight as well. And who knows? Greninja is the only Pokemon that's part of a starter trio that is an additional form where the other members of that trio don't get one. So maybe in the future we could see something like these. Which ones would you like to see the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you leave a comment, of course, below, you are in with a chance of winning a copy of Legends Arceus. I'm giving away 3 copies when Legends Arceus comes out. Right, thank you all for watching. And of course, soar high, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master.
Wow, a huge thank you to those of you who are supporting this channel, especially those of you on Patreon, and the big patrons of this month, JD Gottlich, Pokebliss, Michael Hornshoe, and Jed Rubin. Thank you.